Good evening. It is a great pleasure to have you join us this evening. I am Anita Mwanguzi. It's good to have you with us on WBS Weekend Prime News Live. The Archbishop of Kampala, Dr. Cyprian Kizito Lwanga, has urged Christians in the country to continue in prayer with the Catholic community and dedication for the papal visit to Uganda. Speaking at the Catholic Corporate Prayer Breakfast, Dr. Lwanga called upon the corporate Christian community to be as a sign of faith to the country as the Church prepares for the 50 years of the Uganda Martyrs.
Stand, think and pray together about the challenges ahead was the message by the Archbishop of Kampala, Archdiocese Dr. Cyprian Kizito Lwanga, to the corporate Catholics who gathered at the Imperial Royal Hotel to engage in rediscovering the roles they play in the church and the society. The Archbishop also assured Christians in the as well as the spiritual and social mobilization of the papal visit to the country.
It's excellent. Tulinda bulinzi ddirwa nalangira nti anajja. Ninga kirungi nnyo ngaba mukulembe basooka okujja mu 69 Popo the second, Popo the 6th, then John Paul the second 93. It boosts our ministry. It boosts everybody. Ate mukulembeze wa ddi.
He urged for the moral uprightness in the society because the society has continued to copy moral behaviors.
Permissiveness, secularism, pluralism, that is embracing whatever comes on board, and copying things from the media and want to be modern that way. Let us be the salt and also the light of the world. Then also immoral behavior, which is running our society via alcoholism, copying what we see in the media.
The National Youth Chairman Lay Apostolic Conference, Reverend Father Simon Jude Kanyike, says the National Prayer Breakfast was a platform to create opportunities for unity and networking.
Is that we keep our prayers together and live to see this mature. There is no specific date that has been given, and I believe when it is, it will come to us through the most official channels.
Since the announcement of the possible papal visit to Uganda to mark the 50 years of canonization of the martyrs, the Catholic community has been embroiled in prayer for the visit. If the visit comes to pass, it would be the second papal visit to Uganda in 2 decades, following the visit by the Pope John Paul II in 1992. Aransmak Tabaruka, WBS Television.
Now, the Democratic Party top organs are meeting in Masaka to discuss a way forward for the party ahead of the 2016 general elections. The party is also discussing strategy to use to lead them to power through a formidable challenge next year. The leadership headed by party president Norbert Mao are meeting in Garden Hotel.
According to the party secretary General Matthias Nsubuga, the party will look for ways of winning several positions at all levels in the forthcoming general elections.
Abanesimbawo mu kibiina kya DP bonna bateeka okuba nga beebo omuntu yenna gwe yandiwadde akalulu si kuddira abantu abatalina busobozi kugaba ekibogwe twagala abantu abatuufu be baba bakwata bendera y'ekibiina era nga be banatuusa ku bwangu.
Leaders of the Democratic Party will, however, discuss other issues that are affecting them besides planning for the next elections.
Kisinga kwe kulaba nti amatabi g'ekibiina wonna gye gali abantu baddayo okugaza obujja. Ekyokubiri kwe kulaba nti ensimbi.
All members of the Central Executive Committee were invited for the meeting, including some leaders who have been controversial in the party, although some did not appear. Among the controversial members who attended is former presidential candidate Rebecca Mukaku. After the official opening, members of the press were asked to leave as members wanted to discuss their issues without the media. The 2-day meeting ends on Sunday.
In other news now, the community in Padere is calling on government to support the work of NGOs in providing quality education to the children. A local NGO that has built Atanga Secondary School and provided scholarships to various girls, but the school suffers for lack of teachers after Ministry of Education and Sports failed to post there any. Our correspondent Sam Lawino filed this report.
Building hope for the girls whose parents perished during the war is supporting boost the poor standards of education in the Acholi sub-region. Over 40 girls have acquired scholarships from a Canadian woman, Davish Roti, to study in Atanga Girls Second School in Pada district. She has made Patago Primary School a model school with boarding section to keep girls in school for easy mentorship. After primary school, those on scholarships are admitted to Atanga Girls Secondary School, but here the youngsters face challenges.
When I am in our home, life was not easy because my father has died when I am still young. So even my mother has got HIV, nobody can pay my school fees.
From home, my parents come. My dad is HIV positive and my mom is a discordant. So he decided to take another woman and went to stay with her. Then he just left us. From home, even we can't get by God's mercy.
Judith Achiro hails from a very poor family in Laibini in Guru. She has always begged on the street to support their family. In 2014, she passed her primary leavers examination, and studying on the scholarship, she intends to become a nurse. The teachers fear the scholarship is under threat unless the Ministry of Education and Sports posts 16 teachers to Atanga Girls Secondary School in Pada district.
Let them not look at regions, but rather the child in school. And let there not be preferential treatment of which schools should get which type of teachers. Personally, I felt abused when they told me, we can't give you more teachers because your students are few.
She says government owes her millions of money she has spent on paying teachers in the school since 2013 she was posted in. Girl child education in Pada and Nagong is often affected by high rates of dropout due to defilement, early marriages, poverty, and lack of sanitary pads. But this scholarship is revamping the girls' investment in education, aimed at creating gender equality, poverty eradication, and creating income.
So they are all excited to come and stay in the boarding. And when they are here, it is easy for the teachers to help them. And eventually when they move to Atanga, they will see a better future for them. Because there's somebody who is behind them, who is supporting them. Most of our girls, they don't continue, not because they are stupid, but because they don't have people to support them.
Some of the things that could have been improved, so I became more and more involved every time I came. So it went from building schools to realizing these girls are trying hard to get great grades, but where were they going? They were going nowhere because their parents could never afford to send them to university. And would they go back to their villages again with an education and have babies and never amount to much more? So that's how the scholarship program came into play.
Davis Rote, the Chief Executive Office of Women Leading Change Scholarship Program, has spent over $500,000 to construct classroom blocks, dormitories, laboratories, and teachers' houses in Atanga Girls Secondary School and Patago Primary School. She says her vision is to see the girl child in sub-Saharan Africa attain quality education and build on support to government for recovery in the region.
To stay with us here on WBS Weekend, Prime News Live will return shortly. Data entry clerks for the National ID Project finished work, phased out of project. Kampala Archbishop calls for prayers for the Pope's visit in June. And And the Democratic Party starts stop organs retreat in Masaka.
Low airtime knowing it's easy. You get it all back with cheesy. All the airtime you spend at the end of the month, cheesy. 1K, 2K, 5K, 10K, 20K, 30K. Airtime you spend is funded. And the telecoms got something.
Time with cheesy. Uganda. Dial star 100 and get the refund. SMSs. 30 days. Most affordable. Uganda. It's all about.
Last time was collected. Have you experienced garbage along your road? That will experience you a hygiene, efficient garbage compactor. And garbage truck. Garbage compactor covers the waste. 20 tons of garbage. There is spillage. Trips to the dumping. Garbage compactor truck. Loader only are required for the whole. Local garbage compactor truck. That's BM Motor.
Let your world taste buds, zesty flavor, ever.
Center for Water and Partnership with WaterAid present a national conference on undoing inequity in access to water and sanitation for vulnerable people. The conference will take place on 18th March 2015 at Hotel Africana in Kampala. Registration is only 120,000 per person. Invited are practitioners and associations in water, sanitation and hygiene sector, networks working with vulnerable people, and the general public are invited to participate. For more information, contact the organizers below.
Welcome back to WBS Weekend Prime News Live. Investing in commercial tree planting could be one of the solutions to reducing the pressure on natural forest destruction and restoring forest cover, especially the central forest reserves. Foresters say commercial tree planting plays a great role, not only in timber, poles and wood fuel, but also provides employment to a great number of community people with the Solog Production Grant Scheme, a public-private partnership project under the Ministry of Water and Environment, encouraging and has for the last years supported individuals and companies to grow commercial trees. And now our environmental reporter Stephen Mwidi takes us to some of the commercial tree dealers and how this contributes to the country's afforestation.
Commercial tree planting is mainly dealing in different types of trees for income. Different tree seedlings and cuttings are planted in nursery beds, which involve grafting and cloning, as experts from Solog Production Grant Scheme, SPGS, explain.
These hybrid, the hybrid clones are a product of crossing different species of eucalyptus. For instance, this one means it's a cross between Eucalyptus grandis and Eucalyptus camaldulensis.
Plant it at a recommended spacing of usually 50 centimeters from each. Then it reaches around 6 months. You cut it back like we showed the other side, when you cut back from around a foot or 30 centimeters down, it will stimulate, the cutting back will stimulate the coppicing or the shooting from the coppices that you are going to harvest and then make the cuttings again.
Different species of eucalyptus trees are grown in different seasons given the climatic conditions. But technicians say crossbreeding and grafting is necessary to allow better yield in all seasons.
Improved seed, we are looking at fast-growing, high-yielding trees. So you can look at this very straight, and very straight, of course, means if you look at a tree like this, of course, when you take it into the mill, the recovery is a lot higher for a straight log like this. So when you talk about tree improvement, we are looking at improving for straightness, because if you have a tree that is meandering like this, it's almost not possible to get, the high planks.
Fast-growing and high-yielding tree species are planted here and expected to be harvested within the first 5 years. But why apply improved seeds and cloning?
The whole objective of crossing is coming up with a superior hybrid, a hybrid which is superior to the mother plant. Here the mother plant was Grandis and the Camaldulensis. So this cross will be a superior product with faster growth, better, resistant to different conditions, and so it is definitely perform a lot than the pure breeds of.
Fadsat Engineering Services Limited is a private company that has planted over 260 hectares of commercial trees, with 133 hectares covered by Pines caribea, whereas 180 hectares are covered by Eucalyptus brandish and clones. Sylvia Ayebare is the forest manager of the company.
We came to realize one can easily get more value when you convert. That's why we decided to come, and that's why the company decided to venture into getting its own mill to convert and be able to benefit out of the round wood that it is raising, to convert and get a better premium through timber. That's one of its objectives. And secondly, with the eucalyptus, the company is basically looking at getting transmission poles.
Each of the 133 hectares produces up to 500 trees, which adds up to 66,500 commercial trees of pine alone. This has created employment to the surrounding communities.
We have several jobs, like say plantation maintenance by slash weeding, hoe weeding. We always source labor from the nearby communities, because there are certain things really that don't deserve you moving at a distant place to look for workers. So what we normally do whenever there is any work available, we always communicate to the local leaders, and they get us laborers that come and help us in these forest field activities.
The SPGS project also trains and supports individuals to plant trees. Concern for Future Sustainable and Development Association, COFSIDA, in Ivunya Parish, Najembe Sub-County, Buyuka District is a beneficiary. These have planted trees individually, adding up to 27 hectares for the group.
I myself, I benefited in boundary planting. I have harvested my eucalyptus. So far now, I'm having a solar system at my place. I'm no longer using paraffin fuel. So I'm also having 2 hectares of pine plantation. It's now 5 years. I think and I hope there is much benefit within that.
Siri mukozi wa government nga abakozi ba government abalala nti bajja kufuna sente mwene SSF eyange NSSF yange ya miti nenga ne mba mvudde mu nsi abaana bajja ki bagenda kufuna obuyambi.
Their major objective to ensure that they conserve the natural forest reserves and encourage the community to plant their own. Another private company is the Busoga Forest Company, with 6,500 hectares of forest plantations in Bukaleba Central Forest Reserve, Mayuge District, and the Kachung Central Forest Reserve, with 2,669 hectares in Dokolo District. Isaac Kapalaga, the managing director of Busoga Forest Company Limited, explained the economic benefits of the country.
So when you look at our contribution to the economy, one, since 2010, Umeme stopped importing poles. So this country is saving foreign exchange. But also the poles we are supplying, we are getting them at a cheaper rate. may be a difference of almost actually $100 between the imported poles and what we give them. Two, we are helping this country, the expansion of rural electrification. We are making a significant contribution.
The company also boasts of growing trees to generate carbon credits and bioenergy, plus raw material for the manufacture of quality wood products and biofuel.
We voluntarily promised and have delivered on the fact that we say 10% of the revenue earned from carbon shall be used, spent on community development projects.
Unfortunately, the country is facing climate change due to the great loss of natural forest cover up to 92,000 hectares annually. And with thin private tree planting on the ground, the continuous massive destruction of central forest reserves may not help to address the problem. Stephen Mwiri, WBS News.
990 data officers who have been working on the National ID project have officially been phased off and thanked for their service. The officers were part of the team that has been helping in the data verification and processing of the citizen applications and approving them for the identification cards. The minister, while addressing the data officers at Kololo Independence Grounds after their completion of the data verification and processing exercise, urged them to remain productive, as Mark Tabaruka reports.
The government expectations on us is greater than it was. The expectations of the population, they said, you registered us. Where are the cards? There's no delay. There's no delay. You move in and you move out.
Well, we apologize for that. Now, the Chancellor, Makerere University, Professor Mondo Kagonyera, has urged institutions to apply leadership of relevance. He says government has remained naive on how the private sector has successfully run the education sector in this country. He was speaking as chief guest at the celebrations to mark 15 years of Vienna College Namugongo's existence and the launch of the Vision 2030 that will help transform the school's academic and infrastructure outlook.
As a general, I think we can clap a little louder than that. The most important human expression is that of gratitude. That somebody comes back and says, well, 15 years down the road, we are coming back to say thank you. Thank you for believing in your vision. Thank you for...
Now, in Uganda today, one of the worst problems we have is the lack of ethical values. And as I said earlier, yes, science is important, but if we don't have other attributes, we are not unlikely to succeed. There are elementary questions which are often ignored, but they are fundamental in management of society and its progress. And what it carries, what it entails to have that skill. What responsibility is demanded of you when you have that skill?
You're still watching WBS Weekend Prime News Live. Now a reminder of our top stories. Data entry clerks for the National ID Project finish work, phased out of project. Kampala Archbishop calls for prayers for the Pope's visit in June. And the Democratic Party starts top organs retreat in Masaka.
When I get praise from my parents, I learn to appreciate to work hard in life. When I get encouraged by my teachers, I learn to be confident at school. When I get acceptance and friendship from my community, I learn to love where I live.
When children get approval from their teachers, they learn to like themselves. Help them to have pride in their own accomplishments.
You see, a good school equals to a better life.
Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising Voices.
This is for the magicians. Sure, you and I are fresh in all day long. Amidst all we toil to every their magic than we've ever dreamt appeals to our senses. Magic so little. Only they is magic. Magic. A big job is fun. Buy White Star shop or supermarket near you and feel the magic of all-day fresh cream.
Chicken quick frozen. You get Chick Super for your family from a supermarket.
Welcome back to WBS Weekend Prime Sport. It was a great moment of intimacy, affection and happiness at the annual Federation of Motorsport Clubs of Uganda FMU Awards ceremony held at Silver Springs Hotel, Bugolobi. Speaking at the award night, Chief Guest General Katumba Wamala applauded the organizers and sponsors for a great ceremony that brought legends and current champions together.
This was a glamorous night where the best performers and contributors of the sport were appreciated and awarded with awards. It was a great moment of affection when old guards of the sport hugged with their old friends. Speaking before the motorsport fraternity, Chief Guest General Katumba Wamala applauded parents for their support towards the young generation in helping them grow in the sport.
New generation, those small kids, to come up here on this stage and receive trophies, seeing this big gathering, this honorable gathering here, you are really glad to be very to see, and I know that they are going to get a very proud and carry this sport.
General Wamala also thanked organizers and the local federation for the efforts of reuniting the old sports champions with the current. A thing is said creates happiness and honor amongst the sportsmen.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the organizers for this beautiful evening. Thank you very much. The trophies are good, the certificates are great, but what you have done to get these people together have you been there? Where have you been? It's tremendous.
He called on sponsors to extend a hand to the sport as one way helping it grow. For the nominees of different awards, this was a lifetime celebration and an innovation that should be taken on annually.
It is a very big development in the motorsport because we used not to have this kind of function whereby we recognize our elders in sport. We have seen many of them today whom we had taken years without seeing, but now, right now, some of them are here with us. Some of them have not been able to come, but we recognize them.
And I really want to thank the organizers for having thought about it. When I came here, I've seen people I last saw in the 70s. People like Amos Nzei, who are great drivers, Junju, Tege, and the rest. It has been a good innovation, and I'd like to request the organizers to keep it up.
FMU Honor Awards went to Edward Martins Ntege, John Kuria Senseko, and Arthur Blick Sr. Other sports legends honored included Haj Asman Junju, Amos Nzei, Buganda's Minister Mohamed Taban, Yusuf Kalimali, Jimmy Kableta, and 1999 champion Charles Muhanji. Foreign sports heroes were posthumously honored and awards given to their relatives. Next on block is the Eastern Motor Club Rally, set for 3rd to 5th April in the eastern region of the country. Frank Sirugo, WSTV, Kampala.
Now, parents have been urged to help their children develop their talents as the future in sports is bright. Speaking at GAS, the Junior School Sports Gala, National Council of Sports General Secretary Jasper Ali Gawesa advised fellow parents to join school head teachers in identifying their children's talents.
It was a busy day at Gaza Junior School as the school held the annual sports gala.
It keeps us fit. It keeps us, when you're active in class, it also makes our brain active. I also like sports because whenever I do sports, we always make our body organs to be more active, like the lungs, the heart, they always be active when you do sports.
And I love sports because they make me physically fit, and I get energy when I do sports. I participate in running and netball.
A multi-number of sports disciplines were played, with different houses competing against each other. The school's deputy head teacher, Robert Mwonge, urged parents to help their kids discover their talents.
The biggest challenge I could cite is that some parents think that this activity is a waste of time to some of the children. And sometimes some parents wish to discourage these girls from participating. But from time and again, we have sensitized our parents, we have educated our parents that this activity is not just a mere waste of time.
Amongst the challenges school identified include unwilling parents who miss out on learning.
We take on this activity, go up to national level. So after doing this activity as a school, we take them to zonal. From zonal, they qualify, they go to division, from division to the district, and then out of the district we get a national team. And our girls have always gone to participate at national level.
So we need to encourage like Gayaza Junior, Namagunga, and others, so that they bring their kids to our competitions to be able to live that old adage that girls cannot do sports.
According to National Council of Sports General Secretary Jasper Gawesa, parents should join government in identifying talent, as sports is nowadays well paying.
You know, when you have in the curriculum, they have put sports, it's going to help. Because don't forget, over the past few years, people have been concentrating on education, sports, education, mathematics, geography, biology. But today, if you have in your curriculum, you have that physical education and sport will be part of it, that means we are progressing.
Ali Gawesa disclosed that Government has big plans for sports and is looking forward for other authorities like Kiprotich and others. Frank Serugo, WSTV, Kampala.
That's the sports. Stay with us now for a summary of today's news.
Your travel agent. I'm taking you around Africa and gifted with beauty that from Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Our first destination will be Rwanda, a land of hills and beautiful ladies. Then Tanzania, the home to the great Kilimanjaro mountain. And Kenya, the Masai Mara home. If I may ask, anyone with more exciting sights?
Movitable jelly and Movitable soap.
That shows her love for quality African-made products. In fact, I move with Movit Herbal Jelly too.
My friends and I at Campus all use Movit Herbal products. As in, I even carried mine.
To have a good service, I first bathe with Movit Herbal soap.
See, I gave the right answer. Even at home we use Movitable gel and Movitable soap. Me too.
Movit, all day confidence.
Think you have nothing to sell? Look around your home. You'll find something you don't use anymore that you can sell on OLX.
Simply download the OLX app, take a photo of the item you want to sell, post it on OLX for free, meet the buyer, and tunda! OLX, everything sells.
News Summary is brought to you by
Everybody use Movit's Apple Jelly. Movit is amazing. Movit's Apple Jelly. Movit is the best. Movit, all the confidence.
In our news summary, data entry clerks for the National ID Project finish work phased out of project. Kampala Archbishop urges 4 prayers for the Pope's visit in June. Democratic Party starts top organs retreat in Masaka. Architects' body threatens action against professionals who defy accessibility standards. Promoting commercial forestry may save natural forests. And motorsport legends honored, Blake Sr. hailed.
News Summary is brought to you by
Everybody use Movit's Apple Jelly. Movit is amazing. Movit is the best. Movit, all the confidence.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am Anita Mwanguzi. Good night.